Good morning, YouTube. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ray. Listen, this is the final, episode in my F150 LED build. Now, you've been following my channel. You know F150 LEDs reached out to me. We are collaborating and they supplied a bunch of parts that I end up installing on my truck. I just finished installing the last parts, are the running lights that goes on the Super Duty. Guys, this is a real detailed instruction video on how I approached it and things you should consider when installing these type of lights. Came out great. I'm very happy with the install. And again, I want to thank F150 LEDs for supplying the parts, collaborating with me so I can bring this content to you. Guys, this is a long playlist of pretty much all the parts that F150 LED supplied that I installed. Very easy to do. Some tips, some tricks, and that's pretty much it, guys. So please consider like, subscribe, and just enjoy the show. All right, any question, any comments, please hit me up below. And again, all the parts that I put on my truck, there are links below. Some of those links will be affiliate because it does support this channel, and I greatly appreciate it. So enough of me talking, let's just get into the video. Let's go. Okay, the light's gonna be going right by the running boards underneath, all right? So at night, you have a nice strip of light in this section right here, and it's gonna go pretty much right under here. And that's that, all right? It's gonna be a real simple install. The most important with this install, guys, is cleaning the surface. That's gonna be the most important step in doing this, to install these LED lights. Using the adhesive that they supplied right here, all right? With this backing and this adhesive, you're gonna have a nice bond. So let me just get the thing clean. And most importantly, guys, you're gonna need a lot of rags, microfiber cloths. Well, I'm gonna start off with this here just to start it off, just to clean underneath there. It's all depending how old your truck is. You may have a lot of dirt underneath there, so get it absolutely clean. After I do that, I'm gonna come back with some alcohol and rub it down about several times to get this installed. So I'm not gonna show you how to do that. Cleaning is cleaning. Just have enough paper towels or rags to get it underneath there. Use whatever agent. Whatever you use, I recommend to come back with the alcohol pads they supply, or just have another bottle of alcohol available to clean that surface. So let me set up the camera and let's just get it moving. Let's go. Okay, let me give you a tip. All right, especially if you're working on the Super Duty and you have the Tremor package, these type of running boards, make sure you have gloves. All right, you're gonna need them because you're dealing with glue, but when you're cleaning it, have gloves on, because when you're rubbing underneath this here, you find yourself, especially if you got big hands, you're gonna be hitting yourself against here, and it's almost like sandpaper going against your knuckles. So quick tip, have some gloves on. And as you can see, when I'm cleaning it, how much dirt's coming off. So you're gonna have to make sure you go over this several times to make sure it's clean. So I'm about to go get my alcohol, some paper towels, and run the whole strip again. Do about 3 or 4 times to get it absolutely clean. Okay, we're gonna keep it moving. All right, I got it clean. So let me show you where exactly we're gonna be mounting this thing. See if you guys can see this. I hope you can see this. It's kind of, you know, shooting into the sun. Right here, right in this channel. It's right behind this little rubber flap. There's a channel right here, and this is where you're gonna put it. Now you have a couple of options. You can put it flat on here, or you can put it on this side here. I opt just to go straight up with it. So it's totally your choice, your lights, do what you want. But I'm gonna put it right up in this channel right here. So it also gives you options if you want to run 2 LED lights, different colors. You could put one right next to it and have it to an upper switch, which I might consider doing. Having one for when the door is open, and it's having one strip to upper switches. So if you just want to turn it on, you can do that also, running 2 LEDs, or you could put it on a switch. You can set it up that way if you want to. So a lot of options on how you want to run it. But that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put mine right here. All right, so let me get up off my back and show you what I'm doing now. And I suggest what I'm gonna do is start from the front and work your way to the back right here. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. You just put this little camera right here. Before we proceed, I want to just give you guys another tip. I suggest when you get your lights, they come like this. For me, personally, I'm just gonna add another heat shrink to this connection because it's underneath the truck. If you do any type of overlanding or you're in a wet environment, you splash a lot of mud up underneath your truck, I suggest but as a precaution, I think you should throw another sheet over this. So I'm adding a 06.4 tube of heat shrink. It's what they use around the boats, or any type of heat shrink, I should say. So just to cover this up, I'm just gonna give it an extra protection, and I'm gonna take it right up to the connector. Again, just avoid any type of moisture affecting my lights. Again, it's just another barrier, which I'm just gonna add to it, and that's it. Because after I mount this, I'm also gonna put inside this protective tubing, all right, when I run my wires. Again, another layer of protection, just to avoid any type of malfunction. Again, all these parts that I'm using, there will be a link below. Again, guys, as you know, those links are affiliate. It does support this channel to help me bring content to you like this. So let me just get it moving, keep it moving. I'm gonna shrink this on, and then we're gonna take it to the truck and install it. Okay, guys, I got it all heat shrinked. And I also came back with some electrical tape just to sure it up. And that's it, all right? Again, these are my tips. This is how I'm installing mine. All right, you don't have to do it. You know, I don't mind taking a little time just to make it a little more waterproof, all right, in that connection. So no water definitely get into that connection at all. So that's done. So let's take it over to the truck and get it installed. All right, so now we're at the truck. What you're gonna do, you're just gonna take this out, and you've got running boards, which makes it much easier. It's just to lay this out. If you don't have running boards, then I don't know what to tell you, right? But if you have running boards, just lay it out. It'll help you get it installed. The wiring is going back toward the truck. I mean, to the rear, I should say. And that's that for now, okay? The next step we're gonna have to do is just get our glue and get ready to apply it. So stand by. Okay, now we're gonna apply the LEDs, but let me just show you something, just to clarify some things here. Again, you got this gasket, rubber gasket here. Your best bet is pretty much line up your beginning of your LEDs, pretty much where this rubber gasket begins. Use that as a guide. And you can leave the door open or closed to apply this. I just found it easier having the door open when I'm doing this process. All right, because we're gonna peel back this tape, and we're only gonna do, say, about 6 inches at a time, peeling this tape off. Because again, if you're in a driveway like me, I don't want to expose all this adhesive here, because there is adhesive behind here prematurely before I can apply my glue. We're just gonna do it. Take your time, do about 6 inches at a time. Apply this glue onto this. First, you gotta remove the blue tape, of course. Press up, let it hold it for about 30 seconds, and then continue on to the next step. So this is gonna be a slow process, but don't rush through it. Take your time to get it so you have a nice adhesion when you're done. And that's all I can give you, all right? This LED pretty much run the same length of this rubber stripping, just a little shorter, which is fine, all right? And that's that. So let me just get this going. Again, taking my time, about every 6 inches, reveal the tape, apply the glue, press up for about 30 seconds to a minute. I found 30 seconds was fine. but you can do a minute. Once it gets, you know, pretty tacky, continue to the next step. And that's that. And once you apply it, you do have time to maneuver it. All right, it's not instantaneous, so it takes a little time for setup. So you can play with it if you want to adjust it if you want. I just found using this as a guide, it's much easier. And that's pretty much it. Any questions in the comments, hit me below, and let's just keep it moving. All right, guys, let me show you what I'm doing. I hope I can bring this out to you. As you can see, I got it all installed. All right, take your time. Having one of these back dollies, I'll call it, to go underneath it with wheels helps a lot, because you're gonna have to get under here and periodically just check to make sure your line is straight. All right, and then you're not pushing in it under this little rubber gasket. And that's it. And you have a little time. It's still tacky. You can readjust it if you need be. But other than that, as you can see, I pretty much got it all installed. So right now I'm just gonna let this dry, and while it's drying, we'll go to the next step in fishing the wire. All right, and I'm gonna show you how I'm approaching it. All right, and getting this connected. So let's just keep it moving. Any questions, any comments, hit me below, and I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. And of course, consider like and subscribe. So let's keep it moving. Okay, guys, let me show you what I'm doing. All right, as you can see, I got the LEDs installed, glued in. As I stated before, I'm using the wiring covering. And what I'm doing, my setup is, I'm using these little sticky connectors or hooks. All right, I'm using this with a tie down. But with this, I'm also using some Gorilla tape. Clear, or it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be, but I happen to pick this one up. It's more stronger in the adhesive part. So this is double-sided, so I'm using a piece of this to attach to back of this to make it more stronger to hold. And that's what I did here. I don't know if you could tell, had that little connector with a zip tie, keeping it close to here, so it avoids me drilling into my truck. All right, because I'm not a big fan of drilling into it, all right, because I believe that causes rust in that particular spot if you don't treat it. So just one thing I don't like doing. So again, that's just me. All right, so I got to connect it. It's not coming down. As you can see, I got another piece up here connected. Now, just got to make sure these surfaces are well clean. No dirt at all. It has to be clean for this to work. So you got a good adhesion so it holds your cable. And all I'm doing, just running this up here. And what happens, you can take this here and just stick it behind this little panel here. It'll hold. All right, and then I got it going up and coming around, coming through this little area right here. Coming out, connecting here, and then just dropping it right next to my connector. All right, and yes, I'm gonna use this dead end connector, ideal, so I don't have to go into the cabin. I'm not using this particular connector. I'm gonna show you how I'm connecting mine. I'm gonna be cutting this off, all right, and replacing it. So stand by for that. So that's it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put another tie connector right here. I cleaned it. I'm gonna clean it again with alcohol, stick it here. So this can now stick onto that connector when I zip tie it with the new connector, and I'm all good. So stand by. So I just want to show you how I'm fishing the wire so it's nice and clean. You don't see anything. It comes around, comes through this little area right here, out, connect to it, and drop it down. All right. And I suggest to run your connectors. Don't cut anything off, so you can cut to the exact length that you need. And that's it. All right. So let me just keep it moving and stand by how I show you how I connect this to the new connector. Okay. Now I'm just gonna continue to clean this spot real good. All right, again, I got to keep on emphasizing your surface has to be dust free, oil free, free of any type of contaminant, or the adhesion will not bond to it. So I'm just wiping this area down because pretty much this is where I'm gonna mount the new connector. All right, so that's clean enough. You can eat off of that. That's how clean those are gonna be. And now I'm just gonna take this backing off. Okay. I'm just gonna stick it right here, because it's gonna be going back up this way. All right. On it, and that's it. All right, so I got a connection point here, and I'm using the body frame itself to run my wires. All right, so that's not moving. So once you got that there, you're just gonna fish in your wire where you got your connection points. I'm gonna come around this point here. Again, I didn't cut anything. All right, I left it all intact to get my final resting place. Then I'll come back and cut it. Just to start it off, I'm not gonna tighten it down yet. So now I'm gonna cut it. And I'd rather have a little more wire than too short of a wire, a little longer wire than too short of a wire. So now I can cut it and prep it for the new connector. Okay guys, we're gonna continue on. Now, I just wanna give you a little tip how I'm approaching this, food for thought. Again, as you know, this type of connector here, I initially was gonna go with to connect to this part here. The problem with this one is that, for one thing, and it's not a guaranteed fit. Now, I attempted to plug this in to see will power go through this, and it did not. Maybe it's just me, or maybe I got a bad piece, or maybe, but these connectors are not guaranteed to work on this connector, at least in my opinion. I'm a big fan of Deutsch connectors. All right, now if you don't know about Deutsch connector, just look them up. They are superior to any other connectors out there, in my opinion, when it comes to connecting any type of electrical wiring. So I've been transitioning to whenever I have to do any type of modification to electrical system, if I'm able to modify it and add a Deutsch connector, that's what I'm going to. So initially when you start up, you're gonna have to buy a couple of parts, all right? And again, it'll be a detailed list of the parts you need. And of course, again, those are affiliate links, but I swear by them, all right? I will not go by and deal with any other type of electrical connector other than Deutsch connectors if I can help it. This is what you're gonna need, and I'm gonna be replacing that connector with this connector. Now, what's ideal with a Deutsch connector, once you connect these two pieces here to your wiring, switching this out is very easy. So if I choose later on, I want to connect into this same wire harness, all I have to do is change this and I can replace it with this. And here I can add 2 more paths. All right, it's very easy to do, not complicated. Once you understand the functionalities, you realize that this is the way to go. All right, so it's going to be a 2-piece system. One part goes to the connector, the other one goes to the wire, and you just plug it in. And this is more weatherproof than these connectors, all right, much more. And again, if you're doing any type of overlanding, weather environment, going through whatever it may be, to keep out the weather, yeah, you can tape it up and what have you, but this, again, this is a more superior connector. And that's my 2 cents about it. So that's what I'm replacing this connector up there with this. Stand by, let me show you how I'm gonna do this. And we're just gonna keep it moving. And again, because my idea later on, if I wanna add more lights underneath my truck or the rear wheel, and I wanna tap into this harness, all I have to do is just change this connector. The connectors stay fit, all right? These are you pull these wires out, slip it in here, connect the other 2 wires, and I'm done. And that's it. So let's keep it moving. And let me get this thing connected. Let's go. Okay, so now, as you can see, I got my wire stripped here. You're gonna have to peel this back, reveal some wire, and I'm gonna cut this off. So let's take it right here, cut that off, and cut that off. So now I got this revealed. And what we do is gonna just strip back some wiring and get our connectors connected. All right, so that's done. So let me just shift this camera around so I can get a little closer and connect this up. All right, guys, we're gonna continue with the wiring with this, all right? It's very simple to do, all right? All you're gonna do is just expose this much wire to fit into this little cavity right here, from here to here. So you just look at it, this is how much wire you wanna expose, and you're just gonna slip this in like that. But what's ideal, what makes this so, you're gonna use this tool here, all right? This is the I-Swiss, the IWD-12 for 12 gauge. You're just gonna drop your connector in here, and you're just gonna take the wire through here, make sure it's pushed all the way in, and you're just gonna squeeze down. And this is gonna give you a nice connection. Yeah, there you go. All right, and that's one done, okay? And you're gonna do the same for the black. Again, you're gonna take this. It's much easier to drop it into this device here with a crimping tool. Push your wire into this little hole and crimp down. There you go. Okay. All right. And this is the female end. This is the male end. Same premise. Drop it into your connector. Now, as you can see, I got the connectors on. Now, at this point, if you're not sure which colors is your ground and hot, this is the ideal time to check it. Now, I already checked it. The blue with the gray stripe is the ground, and it's ideal. All you do is just push it in, and my hot is going to be the white. Now, but make sure you don't accidentally touch these two while you're testing it, all right? But you need to test it to see if it comes on. I have to open the door because it timed out, so stand by. All right, again, make sure these doesn't touch, but you just want to see if it works. And as you can see, I don't know if this is coming on the camera, and I hope you guys can see that. All right, so it does work. Disconnect this and this. And let me close the door so I don't short anything out. All right, so you know it works now. So when you set up your connectors, you just make sure you connect the respectful wire to the respectful wire. So the black is gonna go to the blue and the red is gonna go to the white. So let's just do one connector right now, a one-sided connector. And again, it's very easy to install these things. And what's ideal, again, if you ever wanna upgrade to a different connector to add more accessories, you can reuse these, all right? So now you're gonna put this little boot on like this, all right? And this is what gives it its weather seal. Push that in like that. And now you're just gonna slip it into this connector, this side here. All right, just gonna push it in. You're gonna hear a little click that you know it's in. And you can see it right there. And then you're just gonna push your boot in, all right? Just like that. And now you're gonna take this little piece here. I just wanna correct myself, all right? I had the wrong piece. Again, I got multiple connectors, so I got these mixed up. So this part here, it looks like this goes into here. And you're just gonna push this in. All right, and that's it. It's locked in and it's ready to go. Make a mental note on which side is which side. So my black is on, I got the black, which is the ground, and red is the hot. When I set up my connector, I just gotta make sure the white is going toward the red and the blue is going to the black. So now we're gonna do the same thing here for the male side. We gotta turn it around. There you go. Okay, now. Okay guys, so I'm just gonna show you my final product. Got the new connector on, zip tied, connected on. Got the wire going up and around like I showed you before. Going up there, going up there, coming back down and around and connected. All right, nice clean insulation. Wires are all protected and not exposed. And again, what I like about it, I didn't have to drill into any, and I have a much better improved connector in replace of that factory connector, in place of this. All right, much more versatile. So guys, if this was helpful, please like, subscribe, and I'll check you on the next one.